I had to go through a 5-month academy to get it, so...
Carl Cavalier worked hard to earn this uniform and wore it with a deep pride.
Union, justice, and confidence.
But the words on this shoulder patch ring hollow these days.
I liken it, the motto on this patch to the core values in state police. It seems like most of us have gotten away from the core values.
Cavalier was recently fired by the Louisiana State Police for violating orders, seeking publicity, disloyalty, and conduct unbecoming an officer. But the Medal of Valor recipient says he was sacrificed for attempting to expose a culture that tolerates racism, covers up brutality, and rewards silence.
They're just mad that I'm not joining in with the blue wall of silence. If you're a part of the good old boy system, there's no wrong you can do.
Cavalier's allegations are emblematic of what dozens of current and former troopers described to the Associated Press as an atmosphere of patronage, impunity, and in some cases, outright racism. Amid a federal civil rights investigation into the 2019 beating and death of a black motorist by several state troopers, some say the organization is hopelessly broken.
After a while, you begin to wonder, where are the honest people and why aren't they standing up to be counted?
The AP has found that over the last decade, troopers or their bosses ignored or concealed evidence of beatings and impeded efforts to root out misconduct in at least a dozen cases, several of which were captured on body camera video. Initially, the agency told Ronald Green's family that he died in a crash following a high-speed chase.
I'm your brother, I'm scared.
But body cam footage the AP obtained in May shows Green was beaten, stunned, and dragged by his shackles as he pleaded for mercy.
It's a sad scenario, and it says that the people who tend to be corrupt seem to have the voice.
Grafton is an expert witness on the Green case. He says the footage state police fought to withhold is proof of the tradition of protecting bad actors because they are, quote, one of us.
Well, he's not one of us. If he's violating the law, he's not a law enforcement officer, he's an outlaw, and he should be weeded out. And we haven't done that, in my opinion.
The Bayou State has long had a reputation of corruption and cronyism, as deep and dark as the swamps that pockmark its landscape. The LSP's problems are apparent as early as the academy in Baton Rouge, where alleged cheating prompted instructors to suggest that an entire class be tossed out. One of Cavalier's classmates was Jacob Brown, son of a former second-in-command at the LSP. The AP obtained a memo in which a sergeant overseeing the class called Jacob Brown deceptive and disrespectful, quote, traits of a toxic employee that should not be allowed to continue his training. The younger Brown did stay and graduated. In September, a federal grand jury indicted him for striking a black motorist 18 times in the head with a flashlight.
4 of the guys that were named in the unlawful beatings of the motorists were in my academy.
State Police Superintendent Lamar Davis has reorganized his staff, overhauled use of force policies, and mandated all troopers attend training sessions on intrinsic bias. But he acknowledges it may not be enough to stave off growing calls for a U.S. Justice Department pattern and practice investigation. Grafton says the corruption is making things more dangerous for all officers. On a recent Saturday, Elena Brenzera came out to pay tribute to a trooper who was ambushed in his cruiser. She says a bad few should not tarnish the bravery of the vast majority of good cops.
Most people run away from gunfire fights. The police run towards these types of actions, and that, to me, is a heroic act in and of itself.
Cavalier was initially suspended for self-publishing a book titled NWB. It stands for N-word with a badge. Cavalier believes that if the troop had moved on some of these officers as quickly as it did on him, Ronald Green might still be alive.
It's just a culture that's just need to be broken up, dismantled, and broken down.
Still, Cavalier is fighting to get his job back.
We need more good officers. We need more officers who have the courage to stand up when they see something wrong, to say something when they see something wrong, and to break down this culture that's plaguing this entire country.
And to uphold the ideals of union, justice, and confidence. Alan Breed, Associated Press, Houma, Louisiana.